Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, Friday Focus, Friday the 16th of April. How are you all doing? So we're halfway through April now. I've just realised how rubbish I look. I look so tired. I hope your week has gone well. It's weird having a 5-day week again. I've found mine's been very up and down. Most of it reasonably good. Some of it not so great, but hey, it's all right. I'm very excited because my mum's just had her second COVID injection and she didn't have any reactions, which is really good. So she's covered, which is really, really exciting. There's lots of exciting things going on in my business, which is brilliant. Things are evolving left, right, and centre, which is very exciting. And a lot of it is due to being more visible. So this is what you need to do, guys, is get out there, show people who you are, not just what you can do, but who you are, because I think it's really, really important to do that. I just recently decided that actually what I was going to do is I was going to start to do loads more videos for my clients to run through their accounts, make sure that they're happy with the services that they're getting from us, tell them about the other services that they can get from us, etc. And just generally show people who I am, who we are. Anyhow, so what we're going to talk about today is how to I can't even say this word, sustainably grow your revenue and your profits. Now, the majority of us, I'm not going to say everybody because not everybody does want to, but the majority of us want to grow our businesses, but also grow our profits so that we can start to take more home. And how do we do this? What do we need to do to ensure that the growth is going to work for us? Because if you don't have the foundations of your business so solid, I mean so concrete solid that they cannot move when you start to grow, then bits will fall off. It's a bit like building a house on a floodplain, or building a house and you don't have your foundations. As you get a bit higher, chimneys will start to fall off and stuff like that, which is not great. Now, I'm in the process of seriously growing my business at the moment, which is absolutely great. But in order to do that, I had to prepare those foundations to make sure that I could do this. And how do we? So what do we actually have to do? There are so many pitfalls when it comes to revenue growth. So many pitfalls, but if we can grow that revenue sustainably and steadily, then it's much more likely to be a long-term thing and therefore increase our profits and therefore increase how much we're taking home, how many more holidays we can have, how much more time we can actually spend with our family, because we can employ other people so we can have more time off. It totally depends on what your goals are. One of my goals is that within the next 2 years, I will only be working 3 days a week. End of story. Mondays and Fridays, I will not work. So I won't be doing Friday focuses. I might do them on a different day if I'm still doing them then. But that is one of my absolute end goals, is that within 2 years, I will only be working 3 days a week. So all of my compliance work will be outsourced. Almost all is anyhow now. But the work that I do, the outsourced finance director work that I do, etc., will only be for big companies, and therefore I won't need so many companies. All the compliance work, I was still going to do all of that, but I'm not. It is going to be outsourced, as I said. My company will still do it. And by then I will have at least one full-time employee and another part-time employee. Anyhow, enough about me. How do we sustainably grow our revenue and our profits? So, as I said at the beginning, the majority of businesses strive to make more revenue and profits. However, the relationship between company growth and available resources is not always as straightforward as it might seem. Revenue growth requires financing, obviously, and it depends on those companies' resources. Have you got those resources to hand? If development is too fast, as I've said, it will outpace the resource replenishment. So therefore, not only if your foundations aren't solid, but if you're growing so fast and you're not accounting for how you're going to grow that, then you're going to run out of finance, definitely, without a doubt. A business that starts to grow rapidly is at a greater risk of going broke, did you know that, than one that's actually growing at a slower pace. So we've got to be careful. We've got to be really careful. We've got to plan this so carefully. So when revenue grows in what they call in good measure and existing resources can support it, then growth can be maintained over a long period. So it's a slow, steady progress, and debts will not outweigh those assets, which is fantastic. So a systematic approach to company growth is based on investing very heavily in methods that will pay off in the long run. They may be expensive to start with as far as you're concerned. They may not feel like an investment. They may feel like a cost. But if you can start to imagine them as an investment into the future, then you might see them, well, you will see them in a very, very different place, different position. The large initial investment to make any whole system more efficient will balance out over time. Timing is absolutely crucial in this approach. Naturally, the company needs to have the resources necessary to actually invest, but detailed financial forecasting is absolutely vital to this as well. The right time to invest is when there's some level of certainty that your business will have enough assets as that buffer in the period it takes to even out that cost. So if you are, say you're planning on taking on a new member of staff who's going to take over a lot of your work for you so that it frees you up to do whatever it happens to be. It's no good saying, okay, fine, we've got contracts for the next 4 months, so I can afford someone for 4 months, but then no guaranteeing I'm going to be able to do that. If you have got steady revenue coming in and increasing, you know that you are going to be able to actually afford that member of staff or whoever it is. It's not necessary to make huge steps in company transformation to get that sustainable growth. For some businesses, working with the available resources that they've got and tightening that efficiency is actually the best way to go. Totally depends on the business. It totally depends on what sector you're in, etc. By ironing out those smaller details, your company can start growing its profit until it reaches that optimal limit. And how do you work out what that optimal limit is? Do you know where that optimal limit is? Do you even know? No, I'm not even going to break even at the moment. Think of any factor that's slowing down your productivity, or if a system in place needs updating to become more efficient. The small changes that you make will slowly produce more revenue, and eventually they'll get your business to a point where more significant investments can actually start to be considered. One of the other things that needs to be considered is extending your reach beyond your company itself. There is so much a business can work on to improve the way it functions. Every business, no business is making it is being as efficient as it could possibly be. It might not be using the right software. It might not be using the right staff. It almost definitely isn't using its time productively. So what can you improve in the way that it functions? There is also a whole world outside that company which can be influenced in various ways. If you aim for sustainable, still can't say that word, sustainable growth, consider how you can involve your customers and your suppliers into that effort. Nothing can aid your business like the power of giving when it comes to customers. If you can offer some sort of incentive to people who are using your product or service, you could create a symbiotic relationship with them. And if you've ever looked at my website, you'll see that I contribute to a charity called B1G1. And what I do is any interactions on my website or new clients who come on, I automatically give 3 full days of business training to young girls in third world countries. I believe over the last, how long have I been doing it? Probably about 8 or 9 months. I think I've been doing it. I think we've given over 60 days of training to young girls in third world countries, and I love to be able to do that because 1, I want to help young girls all over the world, and 2, I want to get it out there about learning about business and the fact that business is not complicated and actually anybody can do it who's got the right mindset, and that is absolutely key. So consider what you can do that's outside your company. The other thing is to plan really, really carefully in order to be able to reap those rewards. So working on sustainable growth for your business, it's a long-term process. It's not going to happen overnight. It will require dedication, it will require time, and it will require risk-taking. However, if you are ready to step out of that comfort zone, your company could be on its way to great success. So if you want to know how I work on my consistent profitability in my business, consistent profitability, I have to repeat that word, then please contact me. If you'd like more guidance on how you can sustainably grow your business and work with somebody who has your back and work with somebody who wants to help you, wants to be part of your business to do that, then please do get in touch, and I'd love to hear from you. Right, that is going to be all for today. I've got a very busy day ahead, and I know it's only 11 minutes, and it's not very long, but I'm hoping that that's been really helpful for you, and I'll see you next week. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye.